Hello. It's Sunday. Sunday. And I got my spinning. Hang on. Whoops. Oh, man. I can't reach my pedal. Hang on. Uh-oh. Whoa. Okay. I thought I was really prepared today, but apparently... Okay, I got it. Hello. Hello, Teresa. How are you? Excuse me. And Carrie, hey. Did you guys bring projects? Oh, I gotta adjust my tension just a teeny little bit. Wonderful. Hello. Oh, still I gotta do it again. Hello. All right, what is the deal? There. Okay, sorry. I don't know. I was like, had no tension. I've been kind of playing with my tension on this wheel, trying to get it as light as I possibly can while still having it draw on. And I'm like riding the line right now. So Sarah is working on a crochet blanket square. Nice. Hello, Carolyn. Crystal said, I have troll asking about your fix for your spinning wheel. I know. Okay, we're going to sit down, I think, at our kitchen table and talk about the whole, situation so that John doesn't miss anything that he fixed and replaced. And I will link to everything that he bought on Amazon, and I'm going to do it soon. We need to do it, in the next couple of weeks. Next week, or this week's video is already, set. So it won't be this week, but we will sit down and do it soon. I promise. And hi, troll. Excuse me. Carrie said, I'm drinking mimosas and knitting lace like an idiot. You know what, Carrie? Maybe it'll unlock your genius. You don't know, right? Hello. Teresa said, I'm spinning some Paradise Fiber Club Fiber. Not sure what it is or what month. It has been separated from its paperwork. I bet if you post a picture, Teresa, someone will know. Hello, Lisa. How are you? We were watching Clarkson Farm last week, and I was thinking of you since you have a croft, and I have so many questions. You're the first person I think of, because I don't know anybody else who has a farm in the UK. Hello, Elizabeth. Sacred Soul Art. Hi, from the UK. Sarah said, my cat Rue is helping. Crystal said he's in the living room. Well, just tell him hi. You can just tell him. Anne said, hello, hanging out in my sewing room. What are you sewing, Anne? Sandra said, hello, our ski resort is officially closed today due to power outage and whiteout conditions. No skiing for us. Perfect timing so I can join in with your live doing some hand quilting. Wow. Rock star. Kimberly said, I'm hemming Mike's first woven towels. He learned something new with each towel, so no two are exactly the same, but I'll use them. I purposely make them all different. So, maybe it's a feature. Hello, Kai. Carrie said, yes, that's me. Super genius. Did I say it right? Andy said, I'm finishing the body of my first Love Note sweater. I know I've seen it, but I can't picture it. I'll have to look it up. Teresa said, I'm sure they would. I might do that later. Jennifer said, I'm freshly back from Stitches West. How was it? Starting a new pattern out of Nora. Okay, Lisa said, Clarkson's farm was brilliant. Ask away. That is a big part of my questions. How do people, because it's very confusing. I'm sorry, I'm probably going to miss some of what you guys are saying, and I'm so sorry. But to us here in the US, not really knowing a lot about farming, it looks like he's doing good things for the British farming industry by making people aware of just how difficult it is. I mean, it's almost like prohibitive. And I think we have a lot of the similar problems here but I don't need to go into that. But the town or village seems to not want to encourage what he's doing, but maybe that's just something they're making up for the show. We don't know, but I am so fascinated. I have so many questions. I'm just like, I never liked him until I watched this show. Now I kind of don't hate him. I love his girlfriend. She's funny. Okay, let's see if I can catch up. Moni said, I took my woolly winder apart to clean it because you gave me the incentive. I'm so glad. Did you feel okay about it? It's not that hard, right? Once you know. Nikki said, I saw this pop up. I'll take it as my cue to spin. All right, go. Are you spinning already? Hello, Athena. She said, hello, everyone. Is it 1 week ago yet? Time went so fast. This week went by like crazy. We've got some stuff going on that is a lot. So Jennifer said, P.S. How do you guys train your pups to stay off your lap when you're knitting? I don't. Luther is literally on my lap right now. See? So I don't know. I guess I need to know. Margaret said, I'm trying to learn chain plying from your old videos, but my 2 cats are way too interested. Well, might be hard to do with the cats around. Sacred Soul Art said, I'm searching for a 1-skein crochet project to use my hand spun yarn with. There are some bundles on Ravelry, pattern bundles. Excuse me. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure how to find a bundle, but there are people who have like made pattern bundles for you to look through for that specific thing. Elizabeth said, Sandra Hagman, I love hand quilting. I did it for over 15 years. Had to give it up for my job. Hello, Elsbeth. How's the warping mill? Terry said, morning, Trish and Tribe. I hope you're feeling... Oh, sorry. Just diamond painting and sitting under the heating pad. How are you feeling, Terry? I hope you're feeling better. Craft Design said, I'm madly trying to finish the double knit cowl, so I'm ready to start a triple knit cowl when the pattern's released. Kimberly said he is intended for them to be alike, but it took a minute for him to get the hang of overshot. Yes, I found that difficult too. I think I'm okay now, but I get it. Anne said, I'm making a plaid pinafore and a pair of pants. That sounds fun. I'm making lots of new clothes for spring and summer. Kai said, I love that show. It's hilarious. Uh-oh. Chris, is that a quote of me? Or do you have questions? More questions. Moni said, so easy. I'm so glad that it was easy for you. Crystal said, I love when Trish has questions. Learn so much. I think too hard, Crystal. And I think too much about things. Joanne said, hi from gloomy Boston. Hello, Joanne. Swimmy said, first time live, dying top right now. Welcome. Except that's very fun. Lisa said, exactly. Clarkson is something of a character. He certainly does a lot just to cause trouble and make a name for himself, but he is certainly finding out the difficulty of farming. It seems like he's making people aware of really important stuff. Sacred Soul Art said, yes, thank you. I love a Ravelry. I'll take a look. Thinking of a cowl. Oh, that sounds really nice. Hello, Tanya. Good morning. Good early morning. Jennifer said, stitches was great. 100 vendors, and I took a drum carding class with Henry Clemis. I realized I just have not been preparing the fiber correctly prior to taking the class. It was eye-opening. That is wonderful, though, right? That you learned that, because now it's going to change how you do everything. Teresa said, hi, everyone. I'm sick today. Oh, hope you feel better soon. But at least I can join you. I've missed a few. Welcome back. Chris said, Trish, the socks you had on Instagram are cool looking. They're done. Those were the first round of Sock Madness socks. They dropped yesterday morning. I finished, I'm not sure, around 10:30 last night, I think. So, you can look at my Ravelry page if you want to see a picture of them. I don't have them right here, or I would show them to you. I'm not even sure where I put them. They're gone. But thanks. I think they're really cool. They're knit flat. And then you knit the toe, you connect them. So you knit them flat, then you fold them together and connect them and knit the toe on. And then you pick up an afterthought heel and do it too. So they're really cool. Jennifer said my corgi weighs about 45 pounds and he takes up the whole lap. I'm sure that would be very challenging. Donkey weighs 52 pounds, and he would love to be in my lap. But John's got him upstairs. Arlene said I'm sewing today too. Nothing interesting for me. I'm doing contract sewing for a company. Well, that's good though. You're working. Kimberly said I'm preparing to be out of state for work trips, 2 different conferences in 2 states, and a short trip to see my parents in Texas between the meetings. I will be away from my farm for 3 weeks. Yikes. Whew. Chris said, no, that was a quote. I always have questions, right? It's really been cool for me because you guys live all over. And when I do have questions, it seems like invariably I can find someone here who knows about the thing. And I can go, okay, so explain to me this. Athena said, I also watched your chain plying video recently to improve my technique. I also changed the use of one finger because of it. It was helpful. I'm so glad. That's awesome. Chris said the sock you were knitting, I think that's the one we're talking about. The reel, you mean? Elspeth said, warping mill is huge, over 5 feet tall and 3.5 feet wide. Question, can you indirect warp from a big ass mill? I don't see how, because you would have to spin it and spin it back over and over again. But maybe I just don't know. Lisa said, I think I finally found a project I can work on while on the live, knitting a vanilla hat, just going round and round and round and round and listening to y'all. Chris said, a pair of socks in one day. Yes, I don't know what time the pattern dropped. I just wasn't paying attention to the time. And yes, they're done. Nikki said, did you finish them already? They're done. Nikki said, I'm not done well, Nikki, but I don't have like anything else going on. And I am a fast knitter. Elizabeth said I finished plying all the yarn for my weekender sweater last night. I will be soaking the yarn tonight after work. That is very, very... Elizabeth, I do too. I think I'm going to make one. But that's what's been cool, because you guys can always answer. There's always someone here that knows. Always. Athena said to Chris, could you perhaps share that wool link you mentioned last week? I am very curious. I meant to ask Chris about that, and then I got sidetracked. I apologize. Hello, Danielle. Can you tell if it's worth blending acrylic fiber to a down breed for socks? I've never tried it, Danielle. There are a lot of commercial companies that do it, so I'm really not sure. I mean, doing it by hand, I'm not sure, but I don't think you need to. I think you can make really nice socks with a down breed without anything added. Does that help? Elizabeth said, I need that shirt too. Sally said, hi, y'all. Oh, I'm knitting a hood scarf. That sounds cool. Don't worry, Carrie. I never will. Joanne said, the more you know, the more questions you have. That is so true. I can remember thinking I pretty much knew everything. And it's like the older I get and the more I learn, the more I realize that it's like the smaller my perception of what I actually do know gets, if that makes sense. Crystal said, okay, I'm going back to ignoring these socks today. Uh-oh. Hi, Rita. Hey, Deb. Happy Sunday, tribe. Working on CSM socks still. Baby steps. You're getting them done, though. Chris said, yes, the same socks. I just didn't want to confuse the chat and thinking it was the pair you were wearing. I am wearing, right now, Reebok socks. Don't tell anyone. I don't know how to pronounce it. Oriwa, you tell me. So I'm trying to learn how to spin from cotton fiber on my farm. I wish I'm getting it. Cotton is hard to spin. Can you already spin wool? Chris said, Athena, I will post it again in the comment section after Trish signs off so people can see it. So you did post it last week, Carrie. I mean, Chris. Sorry, my brain. I was reading someone else's name while I said it. Rita said, hi, Carrie. How did you do at the Fibre Festival? Nikki said, we have all been sick, and I have 2 kids here with 1 CP, so I guess I'm busy also. You're very busy. Like, you have to remember, Nikki, we don't have kids in the house anymore. John will literally cook me my meals if I want to hurry. I didn't crazy hurry, but I did kind of just like focus. Also, I have so much going on. I feel like if I don't sit down and just knit them and get them done, then maybe I won't make it. So I just push through. Carolyn said, I'm knitting the European road trip scarf from Ravelry so I don't have to pay close attention. I'll have to look at that one. Athena said, thank you. Kimberly said, I will finally start knitting that hand spun during Tour de Fleece 22 sweater for Mike while I'm away. We'll also make socks as I always knit traveling socks. That's nice. Socks are so nice to take with you when you're going like on a trip because they're just so little. Jennifer said, does anyone have an opinion on choosing between Wisconsin sheep and wool versus Rhinebeck this year? I haven't been to Wisconsin, so I can't really give you an opinion. Carrie said to Rita, it's the first weekend in April. Daniel said, thank you, Trish. I wear holes in them. Where are the holes? Because we might be able to help you, Daniel, in some part of technique. Rita said, oh, my bad. I'm sorry. Carrie said, no, thanks. No worries. Thanks for checking in. I'm going to that. I can't wait. Teresa said, I'm weaving a narrow band today, the kind where you pick up certain strands for the pattern. You mean like, what do you call that? Inkle weaving? Hello, bears. Hi there, Trish, and all the chatty fiber folk. Crystal said, Troll said hi. Good. Margaret said, I'm also knitting the Ascend wrap on reed linen from, is it Shibui? I'm probably saying that wrong. Rita said, y'all have to remember I'm old. Whatever. Jerry said, just arriving. It's 60 degrees near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. You lucky. Lori said, you wanted to know how to keep dogs out of your lap. I trained mine to only get in my lap when invited. Don't be afraid of the words no and down. If they want attention, they tap my knee. We need to work a little bit on Donkey. Let's see if he wants attention. He tries to stand on you, and I don't allow that. Rico, I was thinking about you the other day. Just thinking, gosh, we haven't seen Rico in a little while. Hello, Mel. Athena said, it's funny how learning evolves. You know more and more about something, more and more specific until you know everything there is to know and absolutely nothing at all. Exactly. That's exactly the way to say it. Okay, Daniel said on the heel. So if it's, Daniel, if it's on the bottom of the heel, you can make socks where you can add a new sole to the whole sock. I think it's a yarn harlot pattern. I have to look for that. And then, sorry, I needed some blackberry lemonade. Are you doing a heel flap? You know, where is the heel? Where's the hole on the heel? On the back? On the like kind of corner? Because maybe there's some knitting thing you can do. But a down breed will be tougher. Kimberly said exactly. Plus I like saying I always have socks on a plane. Chris said, for those who missed last Sunday's chat, we have a website where you can find wool and fiber related events throughout the year and the world. Very cool. Jennifer said, thank you. Anne said, Trish, can you do a meetup in Ann Arbor? I will promise I'll think about it, Anne. After the one that we did at Michigan Fibre Festival, I was like so anxious about it that I swore I was not going to do it again. But maybe. Let me think about it. Elspeth said, I have a fiber friend coming over this afternoon to skirt alpaca fleeces. After she's gone, I'll work on roll eggs for my next scarf. I did not realize your alpaca fleeces weren't skirted, Elspeth. Andrew said, spinning up the Zwartbliss club from January. Spun the Berghoff as a Hauser yarn. I don't know what that is, do I? Still planning slippers. Rita said, what's the website name, Chris? And thank you. Hello, Susie. What do you need, babe?
I'm looking for your socks.
Oh, they're in that tub behind my sewing machine because that's where I keep the finished stuff. See them on the top? John came to get the socks so I could show you guys. Thank you.
I came to take them upstairs.
Take them upstairs. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but you knit them flat and then you use the contrasting color to actually sew them together. And they're, see, you can't really see them that well. They're pretty cool though. Elizabeth said, Anne, what if we all met at Carrie's booth since she will be working? I think that's a good idea. Bears said, Daniel, a darning loom. Oh, I lost it. Might be something that would work for mending heels. Nikki said, I just got my little one with CP down for a nap, and hubby came out of the office and is making me tea. Nice. I got it good, she said. Susie said, I'm at the laundromat catching up laundry. I just stabbed my hand with my signature Dawn stilettos. Please be careful. Did you get a tetanus shot? Tetanus is no joke. Carrie said, my aunt and I were just talking about the sock issue this morning. We think it's because we wear them around our carpeted homes. You mean heel holes? Oh, DPNs. Got it. Athena said to Chris, if you already posted the website somewhere, I am happy to go back and look for it. I just couldn't find it. Carrie said, Dan just seconded that people can meet in our booth. I worry that we'll crowd it. Just look for Matthew McConaughey. Just look above the crowd for Matthew McConaughey because he will definitely be in Carrie's booth. Susie said, do not catch signature DPNs with both hands. It hurts. Susie, please don't stab yourself. Nikki said, OMG, I love them. Mel said, anyone going to yarn over in Minnesota? Lisa asked, how is John getting on with Duolingo Gaelic? I don't think that he's been on it a lot. He has been working extra right now. They're trying to wrap up some more than one project that they're behind on, so he's been working a ton. I will ask him, though, if he's still doing it. He's not speaking it to me. Crystal said, that's cool. Now I know what I saw. Daniel said, I do the dyeing and make cakes. My wife knits, weaves, and crochets. We love your live feed on Sundays. I appreciate that, Daniel. I love that you guys are the ones on a boat, right? Chris said, okay, y'all, I just went back to last week and the post has been removed. Wait a minute. You know what? I wonder if they thought it was spam. I can look. Hang on. YouTube automatically flags stuff with... Nope. I did not remove it. And I didn't see it. YouTube must have automatically done it. That's annoying. Okay. Elspeth said, fleeces are so filthy. I don't know if they're usable. I don't have a picker, but my two hands might have to wash, dry, hand pick. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Carrie said, Dan says he'll collect a cover charge. Sandra said, what a cool way to knit socks. I mean, I didn't design them. They were really kind of cool, though. Deb said those socks are really cool. I bet fun to knit. I would not have thought ever, because I've seen patterns before where you can knit them flat and then seam them. I would not have thought I'd like it, but you just literally knit this flat piece. You put in a thread for an afterthought heel, and then when you get down to the bottom, you flap them together, knit the toe on. It was so easy. Crazy easy. Maybe because the pattern was so good. I don't know. After it's done, the pattern will be released. So it's just called Valgus. Carrie said he's kidding, by the way. Sure he is. Margaret said, how do you keep from pricking your fingers on a blending board, it drew blood. I don't seem to have that skill. I prick my fingers on drum carters, on everything. That's why I just get my tetanus shots. Elspeth said, CP as in cerebral palsy. My twin has that. Black Crow Cottage said, hi all, came in for lunch. I found you. Have a great day. Welcome. Hello, Rhonda. She said, all right, all right, all right. Stephanie said, okay, I missed what the name of the socks are. Can someone please? Hello. These socks? Valgus. Valgus. But they're not, the pattern's not available to the public yet. I think it's not until after Sock Madness is done. Lisa said, combs are lethal too. I've poked myself on a comb. I've poked myself on pretty much every brush and everything. Susie said, I got my tetanus shot last year after I had another crafting accident. Good. I'm probably due. Carrie said, yes, the sock issue was the heel hose. I need to invite her to our group. You do. Rico said, I just bought a cone of 8, 2, and 24, 5 pounds. Woo. What fiber? Is it wool or cotton? No clue what to do with it all, but it's Rebecca from Robin's Nest Fiber and Friends' fault for telling about the yarn. Rita said, Carrie, tell Dan he can charge for Matthew's signature. Hi, Brenda. She said, I missed last week. I'm glad I made it this week. Hope you're all having a good day. Daniel said, yes, we live in a boat in the UK. My wife spins too. Our socks get heavy wear due to living on a boat. Yeah, I have not blended acrylic, so I can't tell you for sure if it would help with the wear. I'm not sure, but I know companies add nylon for durability, so maybe it would. It's worth a try. Let's see. Nikki said, the very first sock pattern I ever knit was flat, and here I am 16 years later knitting flat socks. Exactly. She said, yes, CP as in cerebral palsy. Carrie said, all right, all right. Roxanne said, hey, Trish, I haven't been here on Sundays for a while. Hello, Rox. Great to be back. I've been watching your videos and thinking about it just recently. I can't remember which video you did where I thought, oh, that's so interesting. It was like one of the knitting technique things. Chris said, no, wrong website. That one was useless. Uh-oh. Rhonda said, who knew fiber arts would be so dangerous? Oh, guys. Okay, Jennifer said, Trish, I feel like I remember you saying you have more than one drum carter. I have a manual Strouch and just put a deposit down for an electric one. Should be able to pick it up by Lambtown and Dixon. Okay, so is it the new Strouches with Celestial? I think that is the one they're working with. I want to know everything about them. Melanie said, poked in my rug frame more than once. Teresa said, I raise alpacas and I recently heard another paca farmer say hers roll in their poop piles. Oh, mine never do that. So if y'all are buying alpaca fleeces, ask if the pacas roll in poo. I've never heard of that. Chris wants to sing. Carrie said, here's a cringy thing. I had a cut on my finger and caught it on the pins of my drum carter and ripped it open. Oh, Carrie, that's making me hot already to think about. Not a good hot, a bad hot. Carrie said, I don't think it's avoidable getting poked and stabbed. I think I develop muscle memory so well and I'm like graceful with my tools. But then as soon as I stop paying attention, I will poke myself for real and like stab myself. It's ridiculous. Lisa said, oh, Carrie, same. Whew. Rhonda said, Teresa, our sheep used to roll too. Oof. Anne said, I'm so excited to meet Matthew and Jason. I'll see y'all at Carrie's booth. I will give you guys a time that I will meet you there. How about that? And say hi to everybody. I make myself stressed. It is all in my brain. I know that. Mel said to Carrie, yikes, thinking of that made my toes curl. That's a nicer way to say it. Okay, hens and chicks. Shaylee. Hello, Shaylee. How are you? Happy Sunday. Jennifer said it's a Clemis and Clemis. Okay. Rita said I've been cutting and pulling briars the past 2 weeks, and my arms look like I've been in a cat fight. But yes, Jennifer, I do have 2 drum carders. Rock said, I'm guessing the technique was that double bind off for a sock heel. No, it wasn't a sock heel. I know it'll come to me, but it won't come to me until after we're done. Because that's how my brain works. Carrie said, I know it made mine curl too. I bet. Ooh, shivers. Athena said, I recently started crafting a fringe twister. I thought the tool was relatively expensive to buy and not so complicated to make. I agree. It seems like you can probably do it, right? Carolyn said, animals and children aren't as worried as hygiene as the rest of us generally. Good thing they are adorable. It is. That's why we love them. Because they're kind of gross. Athena said, turns out it's not so easy, but I'm very hopeful that it's going to be awesome. I would love to see it, Athena. I don't have one. I just twist my own fringe. Elsbeth said to Teresa, box of gloves at the ready for the alpaca skirting washing. Yeah. Rita said this fiber thingy can be dangerous. Carolyn said one of the twins I used to nanny for told me blowing snot bubbles was her superpower. Gross. Carrie said it's like chefs always have scars and burns. Exactly. Mel said tetanus is no joke. I do not think it's a joke. I dead serious think if you're gonna prep fiber, you should have a tetanus shot for real, and it should be up to date. Margaret said the pricks on my fingertips changed my fingerprint, so my smartphone login didn't recognize me anymore. I believe that. Also, you can commit more crimes now, Margaret, because they won't know. They won't be able to tie you to your fingerprints. Jennifer said, wait, is Matthew McConaughey a knitter? You guys. No, he was here once, Jennifer. In chat. Anne said people with high arches tend to wear the bottom of the heel more. Adding a fitted arch helps. I knew someone would know. Also, knitting a heel flap and gusset with an extra nylon thread carried on the heel flap and bottom gusset. I have heard that. Brox might have a good way to chime in on this too. But she got here after we had the conversation. So Daniel has, worn heel holes in his socks and had questions about adding acrylic to wool down breeds for spinning socks. So that's what we're talking about. So if you have input rocks, you're the knitting expert. Arini said, I got my finger stuck in the sewing machine and the needle broke my fingernail. I did that once too when I was about 7 or 8. I was sewing with my mom. I let it sew right over my finger. It sewed through my nail and broke. And I was afraid to tell my mom that that's how I broke it. So I just basically hid it until the hole in my nail grew out. Yeah. That was awful. I'm so sorry that you did that because it was not good. And said, hello, good evening from Belgium. Hello. Teresa said, I had never heard of alpacas rolling in poo either. Sheep, it wouldn't surprise me. They have no standards. Alpacas are much more fussy. That's what I've always heard. I've always heard that they poop in one place and then they kind of stay away. Kai said, I twist fringes by hand. I was watching a short or a reel, Kai, of you weaving like a black, I don't know what the term is for that type of weaving where you leave open parts. Joanne said, Valgus sock pattern available this summer. Okay, so it's totally after. Carrie said, yay, crime. Yay. Rita said, when I have injuries, fiber or other related, using super glue to close it works great. Ask me how I know. They do that at the doctor. Margaret said, haha, good tip, Trish. Daniel said, thank you, Anne. Rhonda said, I think they just drop and roll whenever and don't care what happens on. I mean, that does make sense. They're not Rock said, I have high arches, but it takes me 10 years to wear through the heels or balls of feet. You can reinforce heels on the inside of your socks using a weaving technique using a sock reinforcement yarn. That's really interesting. Caitlin said, I had a needle in my foot and my mom pulled it out. Caitlin, your mom is a rock star. I mean, I can do it, but it gives me spaghetti arms to think about doing stuff like that. Sandra said, I had a raccoon bite my finger once when I was feeding it. I did the same thing. I hid it from my parents. In hindsight, probably not the best decision. I'm sure that it wasn't the best decision for me. Because what if I didn't have an up-to-date tetanus shot? And I don't know. I guess they would have noticed when I had lockjaw, huh? Probably not, actually. It was the 80s. Children were feral. Kai said dented weaving. Okay. It looked really cool, Kai. What was it? Is it like a wrap or what is the just material? Anne said, I've never sewed my finger, but Lord, I've burned off the hide off my fingers with the glue gun. Yes. Even my low temp one pretty much burns. Lori said, my late husband went to school with Matthew McConaughey. What was that like? I can't imagine him in school. Mel said, I have a friend with horses and one of them likes to sleep on a poop pillow. Ew. Teresa said, yes, alpaca have poop piles, but they also spread their legs apart so their pee does not get on their fiber. I didn't know that. Sheep just poop and pee while they walk, unaware that they are doing it. Good old sheep, though. Nikki said, my oldest teen had split their head open while we were camping, and they used super glue then. I mean, head wounds bleed a lot, too. I guess there's just a lot of blood vessels there, huh? In the emergency room. Okay, Kimberly said, I've never seen any of my sheep roll, but they do rub on the fences, leaving bits of wool for birds to use this spring. Such thoughtful, spicy fibers. That's one of the reasons why I think it's kind of weird that they say don't put wool outside for birds, because sheep leave it, you know? Rita said, glue is better than a Band-Aid. Doesn't it feel weird to put those chemicals, though, on your open skin? Kind of freaks me out. Rhonda said, Matthew McConaughey teaches the film class at the UN. How does he have time to do that and show up here? I don't get it. Kai said, it's a Wednesday. Oh, cool, Kai. It's a Wednesday-inspired shawl scarf. Lori said he's always said he was stuck on himself. Not surprised. Carrie said, I saw a video the other day that said what to do when you see a sheep on its back. My first thought was, duh, do not rub its belly. They're gross. Don't. It's dirty. Like gross dirty. Rhonda said, oh, University of Texas, not UN. Thank you. I can't do an impression of him. I'm not doing it. Teresa said, my alpacas do have dust bath areas, which they love. That's what I think makes them so hard to wash, because you just like wash them over and over and over again. Nikki said, Alanis Morissette's father taught me English in high school. What? Kimberly said to Carrie, exactly 100%. No. Rita said super glue was actually invented for surgery. I did not know that. Really? I'm so close to having these singles done. I can hardly stand it. Teresa said to Carrie, rub its belly, haha. Georgina said, woohoo, I'm up early enough. Hi, Trish and crew. Hello, Georgina. Where are you? That you have to get up early. Are you like in Australia? That's really early. Carrie said, I think it's yarn you can't put out for the birds because it wraps around their legs. I've heard people say no wool at all. That's what I'm saying. Because I like to put it in the garden. You guys know I like it for mulch. The dirty fleece and stuff. Nikki said, Rita, that is cool. I hear it called ditch stitch because they used it in the wars. Elizabeth said, Tina Turner's cousin was my second grade teacher. Wouldn't it be cool if Tina Turner had showed up at your second grade class? Lori said superglue was developed for soldier injuries until they could get to the OR from the battlefield. I really didn't know that. Rhonda said, Trish, you didn't pick up a Texas drawl on your trip. First of all, you can never take the Midwest out of me. Second of all, I heard way more drawl in Arkansas than in Texas. A lot of Texas didn't sound that accented. Maybe the parts we were in. Nikki said, I babysat for her aunt and uncle. Lovely family. Oh my goodness. Georgina's in Australia. It's very early in Australia. Goodness. Oh, Matthew's here. Caitlin said, do you have any advice on spinning on a double drive spinning wheel? Okay. I think all my manual wheels are double drive. I love them. What kind of are you having a problem? Tell me what's the trouble. Teresa said, I shake and fluff alpaca fiber a lot before washing it to get the dust out. Carrie said, I put wool outside all the time too. I do it all the time because I figure the birds will love it. Rita said, I've had 3 back surgeries and it was used every time. First time I questioned Mr. Doctor and he said that's why it was invented. Okay. Arlene said, all the videos I've watched about scouring say to put the dirty and unusable wool in your compost. I do that. Matthew said, watched once, I am always here. All right. Lisa said tomatoes. Every time I think about starting my tomato plants, I think of you, Lisa. And that's not even a joke. It's totally serious. Sarah said, that's weird that they say not to put out wool for birds. Birds pluck wool and fur out of various animals all the time for their nests. There's always someone, though, who has to, police what other people are doing, and they're not always right. Daniel said, there's a couple companies I've heard about here in Canada that are turning burn pile fleeces into wool pellets for your garden. Also, Long Way Homestead is doing that. Is that who you heard of, Danielle? I took a class from her. She's really interesting. Elizabeth said, Matthew, because you are Carrie's biggest fan, right? Lisa, I'm not cruel at all. Except to, when I had kids, then I was kind of a cruel mom. But that builds character. Jennifer said, after adopting my mother-in-law's hand-spun yarn stash, which was infested with moths, oh no. I left it outside and the squirrels created the most colorful squirrel nest in my palm trees ever. I keep waiting to see, but I don't really see it. My wool in the nests and stuff. Rhonda said, we had hair sheep. They shed like a dog in the spring. The birds loved gathering it up for their nest. I'm sure. Elizabeth said, I have a friend building off-grid. She's going to use the skirted growth bits as insulation. Where did I see that on a TV show? Was it Building Alaska? Oh, Jerry said, don't forget to hit the like button. Please do if you have a second. Joanne said, my hubby had super glue used incorrectly in ED and had to have it removed. Very painful. What was ED? Caitlin said, I'm a beginner and it was handmade and I got mine secondhand from the original owner. I'm having a hard time getting it going on its own without pushing the wheel itself. Caitlin, are you in our Facebook group? Because if you could post a video in the Facebook group I would be surprised if you could not find somebody who would help you. But it's kind of like one of those things that I need to see. Also, I would suggest if a wheel is new to you, spin with nothing on it for a while, just treadle on it for a while to get the feel of keeping the wheel going. And then after you feel like you're there, put commercial yarn on it and do the same thing and just feed commercial yarn on, even though it's going to get all over twisted and crazy, because that will help you get the feeling of how the treadle works and how your hands are going to work together. It will start you on the road to getting the feeling, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I don't even know sometimes. Kelly said, speaking of double drive, I recently got a Reeves Norwegian and I can't figure out drive band material. Regardless of tension, the drive band slips and the flyer stops or there's no take up. I've used a lot of different things for double drive bands, but I'm not familiar with that specific wheel. So I guess I'm not the only one. Oh, thanks. Emergency department. I'm not the only one here that uses double drive. So what does everyone use? Because recently I've been using linen, I think it's cable spun. And I make I can't remember what you call the knot, but it looks like this. So that as that pulls against itself, it tightens. What is it called again? I can't remember. It'll come to me. After, probably. And that has been working really well. But if you're having trouble, I mean, what else do people use? You guys tell us what you use. Sandra said, I would think that the wool would be better than the insulation that the squirrels are taking out of our crawl space. Oh no, Sandra. Anne said, there's that whole Matthew and bongos thing. I don't know that, Anne. I actually don't know very much about him. Carrie said, so the palm trees looked like, what's truffula? Teresa said, I insulated a dog house with old sheep's fleece. Danielle said, yes, long way. I've done her wool of the month and also lone sequoia. I don't know lone sequoia. Thanks, you guys. Usually we hear ER, so my brain didn't do it. Caitlin said, I just joined and I will work on it. That would be, I think that we could probably help you, Caitlin. I just need to see it. Teresa said, Caitlin, try tightening the band a bit. I have double drive and I use cotton or linen thin yarn. Roxanne, is it a magic knot? I don't think that's the word that I learned, but I've showed it before. Rhonda said, I use kitchen twine. I have done that. I find that when I ply, I like to tighten up the tension quite a bit and then it wears quickly. But it works great. Kimberly said that I'm using 10-2 cotton as my drive band on my CPW AT wheels. AT. Kelly, I can't think what AT is. Kelly said I use a DK weight hemp yarn on my CPW, but that doesn't work. Wait, but that doesn't work. And crochet cotton also does not work. Okay. Gosh. Do you need something thinner? Maybe? Rita said I use cotton on my traditional for drive bands. I've tried all those. So far the thing that I'm using right now, which is linen, has been the strongest and lasted the longest. Crystal said, oh, wow, Roxanne, lots happen when I dip out to take a shower. Teresa said, Kelly, there is a chance your drive whirl doesn't have enough of a V-shaped groove. That would also cause slippage. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe if you use a thinner yarn than DK, it will get into your groove better. That's what I'm saying. Caitlin said, I was in a Scandinavian shop yesterday and I saw sheepskin and I'm like, is that Gotland? And it turns out I was right. Look at you. It's pretty cool when you start being able to identify them, isn't it? Anne said, Kelly, does the flyer stop or the bobbin? I've had trouble with 3D printed bobbins slipping and not taking up. Carrie, I knew I recognized the word, but I don't know how to say it. Rita said, mine is cotton twine. Cotton twine. Okay, so that's like kitchen cotton, right? Kelly said, both will stop at different times. Bye, Crystal. Oh, that's okay. Kimberly said Ashford traditional. No, that's fine. No problem. Constrictor knot, maybe. It's where I don't you make a knot. I don't know. Put the other end through and then knot around the two strings so that when you pull them, they just get tighter against each other and you don't need any ends sticking out and they're very small. Anne said Matthew got arrested for playing the bongos in the middle of the night and disturbing the peace in his neighborhood. When the cops got there, he was sitting outside, and I'm not allowed to say that word, I think. Terry said, is it called Russian bind off? I don't know. Rhonda said, and he was also smoking weed while playing the bongos. It's not a square knot. No, it's not a square knot. It's two different knots, really. I can't remember. No, it's not a square knot. I know what a square knot is. I do know how to do that one. John will know, I'm sure. He did Boy Scouts and stuff, like led Boy Scouts. Kimberly said, now that there's a weaver in the house, cones of options for drive bands are everywhere. That has helped me too since I started weaving. Rita just said Carrie needs to keep a better tab on him. Yeah, Carrie. Chris said, I'm with you, Rox. It might be a square knot. Caitlin said, well, Gotland is one of the common breeds of sheep in the Scandinavian countries while the others are endangered. So do I want some of their fiber? Yes. Do I have Gotland? Yes. It could be, Stephanie. It could be magic knot. I think that the person who taught me called it something else, but I really can't remember. And she's a little crazy. So, but a good teacher. Deb said, all right. You guys. Anne said, Rhonda, I didn't want to completely tarnish his reputation. You guys know a lot about Matthew. Chris said, I'm going to look up. It could be a fisherman's knot. It's not a Russian join because it's got a knot in it. It isn't really like that either. Chris said, I'm going to look up this magic knot intriguing. It could be, Anne. Thank you. It could be. I'm not sure. I will have to look up what it... Should I look right now? Hang on, wait. I can look right now. Oh. Yes, that's what it looks like. It looks like it might be a magic knot. I don't know. Lori said, is it a Solomon's knot? I've not heard of that. But there's always more than one name for everything. Oh my goodness. A sheep bend. I don't know, you guys. But it looks like a magic knot when I Googled it. Nikki said, I don't have a double drive wheel, but I find that stretchy yarn strings work for drive bands, at least for me. I have tried also the poly bands. I do not like them on my double drive. They're not slippy enough. You need them to be a little bit slippy. Julie said, was it maybe a sheep? Okay, sheep bend. Anne said, whoops, not Russian join, but magic knot. I think that's what it is. Elspeth said, Matthew's got a lot to answer for, and I'm more than willing to ask questions. Chris said, okay, so do you make a knot and then slip the other end through the hole and make a knot around the first end and tighten? Yes. Not the first end, on the loop. Well, I guess it would be on the first end if it was two ends, but it's because I loop it. Elizabeth said, "Don't read out loud where I come from." Oh, can't say it. Does just means you don't have clothes on. The other thing means you don't have clothes on and you're up to something, so it sounds like Matthew was fine. I mean, Anne said Rhonda and I are Texans. We know our Texas trivia. Rhonda said, well, it's legal in a lot of places now, but not in Texas. It is actually legal here, so like you wouldn't be in trouble for that. Lisa said, going back to socks, I meant to ask if anyone has any tips on stopping the last 2 stitches of Kitchener being all stretched. I kind of try and pull them through, but any suggestions welcome. I actually do that too, Lisa. I kind of pull them back into the sock, and then when I'm weaving the ends in, they kind of like lay down, if that makes sense. That's probably what you're doing. Teresa said, double drive is quite magical, isn't it? So many factors to balance. It is, I think, but some people just don't like it, are scared of it, because it doesn't make sense to them, I think, which I get. Rhonda said, yes, we do. Chris said, isn't Matt from around Austin and their motto is keep Austin weird? I've heard that before. Oh, it's legal there for Andy too. Hello, JD Salette. Lori said, I used to be a Texan, but moved to Mississippi after my late husband passed. I'm always surprised, doesn't make sense, when Texans make wool stuff. But now I know that sometimes it's cold in Texas. Does anybody have tips for Lisa, though, on her sock? Rhonda said Matt lives in Austin now, but I believe he grew up in Marfa. Is that how you say it? Marfa? Oh, I'm so close to being done with these singles. I cannot wait. Maria. Kimberly said towels are hemmed. Now on to packing for this trip. Trying to pack a travel capsule in one bag. But weather in Atlanta, East Texas, and Denver are so varied this time of year. By the way, I'm a native Texan too. That sounds really hard to do. Packing for that trip. Okay. Chris said, Marfa, yes, you said it right. Okay. Lori said Longview. Carolyn said, Lisa, good question. I haven't figured it out either. Margaret said Uvalde. Is that right? Texas for Matthew. Oh, that sounds right. Rock said sock grafting. Do you skip going through the last 2 loops twice and keep it at 1 each? I go through, when I do it, I go through the last 2 and then I go in to 1. So I would think that you would say that I do it twice in one of the last 2. Carrie said my aunt lives in Florida part-time and always has a shawl for Florida AC and nights on the beach. Makes sense. Sarah said no tips on socks. I do the same thing you do, Trish. Lisa said yes, rocks just the once. Bye, Andy. By next week, I'm going to be plying finally. I'm spinning something else. So Mindy said, hi, my son called just as I was about to get on the computer, but I made it for a few minutes. Hello. Rhonda said, yep, I was wrong. Not Marfa, Uvalde. Oh, Kimberly's from Tyler. A lot of Texans. It's a big state. But it's a big state that with big pieces that don't have a lot of people. Linda said, I use crochet cotton on my Kromsky minstrel. Lasts way longer than hemp. Interesting. Rhonda said, I keep a shawl in my car. Oh, Mel said, I'm finally back to work on my sweater spin for a city limits fade. I want to get the first skein done to see if I'll get the yardage I need per fade color. I bet you will be fine, Mel. Oh my goodness. Lori said, I used to live in Trout. Yay, Lil, welcome. Okay, Rock said, once you poke the tail through to the wrong side, it pulls that corner inside. If that doesn't help, I have a number of videos on grafting on my YouTube channel. There you go. That's how I do it. When I poke it into that corner, it kind of pulls it in. Rita said, I'm on the last bit for my sweater spinning and listening to y'all. Oh my gosh, Rita, awesome. I'm plying the purple. And I have a feeling that at least one of you guys is waiting to see it. Chris is off to plant potatoes. You have a good week too, Chris. Anne said Marfa is where the Marfa lights are and where Giant was filmed. I love that movie. Love that movie. I didn't know that though. Giant's one of my favorites. All-time favorites. Kimberly said I lived in ARP, Texas for a few years. I don't know. Okay, thank you, Lori. Troop. Oh, Carrie's slaying the loom so the mimosas don't impede her progress. Good thinking. You see? Adapt, overcome. I like it. This is all I have left. Happy. Danielle said, Plying question for you all. Can I get some pros and cons of 2-ply versus 3-ply for a sweater spin? Okay. I think pros of 2-ply is, it could be a pro or a con. You get a finer yarn, so you get more yardage. 3-plies are typically, you'll get like a more round yarn. A lot of times you'll get more bounce. Depends a lot on the fiber. Let's see, what else? The 3-ply will be obviously heavier, assuming the singles are the same weight. So that's, again, a pro or a con. I just read Elizabeth said, been waiting to see the purple wool for like forever. How exciting. Yes, Lisa said, doesn't it depend on what the pattern is? I would say that makes a difference. 3-ply is good for cables because it's so round. Anne said, yes. Anne, you're the one I thought would be like, oh, finally. I didn't realize Elizabeth was waiting. Sorry. I have 6 bobbins plied, so I think I'll be done by next weekend. Kimberly said, ARP is close to Troop. Hello, Nyla. Arlene said, I wish I could plant potatoes. We still have 3 feet of snow on my garden space. Oh my gosh, I live in Alberta, Canada. We're down to almost no snow, but definitely not planting time. Bye, Kai. I will look forward to seeing the bags. Rita said, are you limited on what you can grow, Arlene? Nikki said, if your sweater has lace, 2-ply will help keep the lace open. And 3-ply good for cables or a plush full fabric. Anne said, oh, finally. I know. You know what? I can't put it away because what happened was I spun all the singles and then I put them in a cupboard and I shut the door. And once I can't see them, it's like they just don't exist. I'm like a 6-month-old baby. If you play peekaboo with me, I think you disappeared. Carrie said, I'm always happy to see finished yarn, always. Same here. Rox, you're in Minnesota, right? We have the same thing. We can't plant like till Mother's Day, basically. So Lisa said, we have snow forecast this week coming. I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe you love it. I shouldn't say I'm sorry. Teresa said, Arlene, I'm in Alberta too. I am so surprised to see people shearing already. Mel said, depending on how you spin it, 3-ply can have a more uniform color. It helps even out weight. It definitely helps even out like thin and thick If you're a little thin and thick, I talked about that in the spinning even yarn. I didn't use the word even. I can't, my brain. Lori said they're in the 80s today. I am super jealous, Lori. Lisa said, so funny, Rocks. We have to have all the planning done by May 15th on our, I don't know, Mashare. It is a scheme to protect the ground nesting birds. Rock said, yep. Okay, Minnesota. We're in the 80s here too, Rhonda said. Elizabeth said, I'm like a 6-month-old baby. It's true. Mel said, not wait, but more consistent. That's the word. Yes, the more plies, the more balanced and evened out it'll be. Arlene said, yes, we only have about a 4-month growing period. It still freezes at night into May and starting again in September. So do you start early? Like start your plants inside? Jerry asked, did I die? I think John did. One of us did. I'd have to go back and look at the film for sure, but I think he might have. Thank you. Caitlin said, I'm in Nicollet, Minnesota, and we still have snow here. We still have a little bit here. Tracy said, so happy to get a bit of the chat, but gotta go. Bye, Tracy. I'm helping my mom who just had a knee replacement. It's time for PT. Well, I hope she bounces back quickly. That's a hard one. Yeah, Rock said the ice won't be off the lakes till mid-April or later. We should be clear by mid-April for sure. Anne said, I'm planting leafy green seeds this year. Yay. Yay. Kimberly said we had snow overnight, but it's gone in the valley, only in the mountains. That's Idaho, though. Yeah. Thanks, Mel. She said the 2 videos on multiple ways to spin a braid was awesome. You know, I've been thinking about doing it since August. When that wool showed up, I actually said in the unboxing, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got an idea for this already. And then it just sat there because I always have too many ideas. Not enough time. Sandra said we have about 20 feet of snow on the ground now. What? Mountaintop has nearly 700 inches. Our growing season will be too short this year at Mammoth Lakes, California. Holy cow. Mel said we still have snow piles in the mall parking lots till May. Occasionally we have that, but usually not. Arlene said, I don't start my plants. I'm a good community supporter of my local greenhouses. I always try to start my plants, Arlene, but usually I end up buying some of them at the greenhouse because I just don't have the hang of it yet. Teresa said, April in Alberta could be anything, usually snow and rain and a mess. Lori's going to container plant this year. I like that idea. Ours dry out too much because I'm a bad waterer. But it's okay. Oh, crap. I gotta go, you guys. It's after 3. I appreciate you guys coming today. It was very fun. Thank you. I can't believe you guys are still spending your Sunday afternoons or wherever you are. Depends, morning, evening, whatever. I just appreciate that you guys take time out every week to come in and hang out. So thank you. It is really nice to see you all. I'll see you Tuesday with a video. Bye.